Hello friends, in this video we will talk about Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documentation Act. In short, it is called PIPEDA. And other act which is similar to it is Personal Health Information Protection Act, FIPA. They both are very similar, and in exam you will be asked with the basic concept. So the basic concept of these acts are: you have to maintain the confidentiality, protect patient's health, medical, drug therapy details. So what does it mean? It means you cannot provide any information about patient's health. Now there are certain things like we can share health information within circle of care. So what are included in circle of care? In general, physician, pharmacist, paramedics staff in emergency department or nurses, they are considered that they are included in circle of care because they care about the patient. Now, who are not included in circle of care? Lawyer, police, even the family members. If the patient is adult, above 18 years, so you will not provide any information to their parents or anyone in the family, even to the spouse. They need consent form or search warrant if they want any information about the health of a patient. So remember these basic concepts because all the questions in exam will be asked regarding this concept. So first thing, you have to maintain confidentiality at any cost. You will not give any information except to those who are included in circle of care, like physician, pharmacist, paramedics staff, nurses. And if the family members, for example parents or any lawyer or any peace officer, ask anything about medical details of a patient, you will ask for the consent form or the search warrant and then release information. So now we will see some sample questions which can come in exam. So in exam you can see a question like, a peace officer came to your pharmacy. He wanted to get medication record of a person who was involved in a street drug crime as well as violate traffic rules this morning. What will you do as a responsible pharmacist of a community? Now, if you notice, this is a peace officer and he is asking about the medication record of a person who is a criminal and he violates traffic rules. Our options are: provide all information as it is benefit for the community. Option B, ask officers, verify he is real peace officer and provide medication details. C, refuse to give any information to the officer. D, ask peace officer if he has search warrant, verify it and release information. So the answer is D, because if the peace officer has search warrant or a patient consent, then you are allowed to release his information. Similarly, another question could come like, a lawyer came to your pharmacy asking for a prisoner's medical information. What is your action? Option A, ask prisoner's ID, Record your conversation with the lawyer as a proof of your responsibility and then give medication profile. Option B. Refuse to any patient information to the lawyer as he is not included in the circle of care. Tell him about PIPEDA, which is the act, and explain him that providing medication information is restricted. D. Ask lawyer if he has written consent from the prisoner. So what do you think? What will be the answer? The answer is D. You will ask for the written consent form from the prisoner. Another question is, a lawyer assistant, not even a lawyer assistant calls your pharmacy and asks about medication information of a client's children who just submitted a divorce case in court. What will be your responsibility as a pharmacist? So there is a couple who submit a divorce case in the court and the lawyer's assistant calls you for the medication information of those children. Option A. Tell him that you can provide information only registered lawyer, not assistants. Option B. Refuse to provide any information to lawyer or assistant as it is not your responsibility to involve in their personal issues. C. Children information only can be shared to the parents. D. Ask lawyer's assistant to bring court letter. Now, if you notice that C and D could be best choice, but because if the lawyer bring the court letter or the consent form, then you can release. But here they are talking about children. They are dependent on the parents and they are not adult. So the best answer among these options is C. You will give information to the parents only, even if the lawyer bring you the court letter or the warrant. So the answer is C. Another example is, a patient was rescued from an alley. He was unconscious. The paramedic staff who rescued him called to your pharmacy and asked about his medical record. What is the appropriate action? Refuse to give any information as patient is unable to give consent. Ask the emergency paramedic to come in pharmacy and get information. C. Verify identification of emergency medical service and after verification, give patient's medical information. D. Ask emergency to contact patient's doctor and get the detailed information. So the simple answer is C, because the paramedics staff is come under the circle of care. So you don't need any letters, but because they are on call, so you have to verify their identification, make sure they are genuine, they are real paramedic staff, and then you can release the information. So the answer is C. Another example is, the healthcare provider are bounded to preserve the confidentiality of information about patient's medical profile unless patient himself provide consent to disclose with specific people. This law of preserving confidentiality is known as Canadian Health Act, Confidentiality Act, Institute of Safe Medication Practice, or D. Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documentation Act. So the simple answer is D, because we are learning about this act, and the above question is whole description of PIPEDA. Now the next question is, all statement belongs to Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act PIPEDA except preserve confidentiality of a patient's health, do not provide any information about medical profile to anyone, share medical information only in care of circle, share medical information to all family members as per code of ethics known as veracity. So if you remember, when we learn about ethics, veracity is telling the truth. So according to the option D, you can tell with the family, but the answer is D. You will not provide any information to the family members until either the patient is dependent or the patient provides the consent form to release his medical information. Please keep an eye with the question like the word except in exam. This except word omitted very easily in exam, and you can choose a wrong answer. The other example is, a pharmacist in a hospital receives a call from a retired physician asking about a patient's information admitted in the hospital emergency. What will you do? Option A, reroute his call to the customer service for relevant information as you were busy in dispensing inpatient's medication. Option B, provide information. Option C, inform the hospital board. Option D is ask doctor to get the information from patient. So the answer is D. Why? Because he is a retired physician. So he can contact to the patient by himself, or the retired physician is not come in the circle of care. So you will not provide any information to that physician. Another example is, a jail officer asked the pharmacist about the medication profile of a prisoner to check substance abuse history. What will be an appropriate action as a pharmacist? Option A, ask jail officer if he has letter of authorization by prisoner. B, provide information to jail officer as it is best for patient. Option C, provide medication history to the jail officer because he is a part of care circle. Option D, refuse to give any information as jail officer has no right to investigate about the prisoner's personal life. The answer is A. You will ask for the letter of authorization. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Please share and subscribe.